The Cold Cut DVD project was a typical example of how an independent label can give you a great opportunity from quite a restrictive brief. Basically, Cold Cut wanted a video for every track. But what happens is, and with most labels, there isn't a lot of money bouncing around. And I wanted to create something for them that was doable on the finances that they had available, but also something that gave something back to the directors. There was a fixed amount of money for each track, and instead of getting the usual process where you get lots of directors to pitch treatments and then you choose the winning one, we invited a director just like they would be a guest artist on the track. So like you'd invite a vocalist because of their style of vocals. We would invite a director because of his work or her work, and then make sure that we worked with them on their identity to add to the track.
Don't think of me as Big Brother. Think of me as the Good Shepherd, keeping an eye on my flock.
So you've got the lovely cuteness, I don't know if that's a good word, but the Smuggling Peanuts, that collective, it's a very enthusiastic, very, very stylised, beautiful, clever, cheeky video, and that's exactly what I feel that those people are like. They're really hooked into what's going on, but they're very creative and very, very earnest with what they're doing. That Smuggling Peanuts video was created entirely from hand-drawn images, not through the whole computer. The computerised way, if I'm going to use that word. And then you've got Joel Trussell's amazing This Island Earth, and his wit and his cheek, and you can see his music likes and dislikes reflected in the type of subjects he's got in the actual video. His comic timing is amazing, and you can see that coming forward beautifully. If we're going to talk about Ninja Tune's attitude to things, you've also got technical restrictions as well, because they're an independent record label, so they don't have a lot of money to spend on their videos. But what it does mean, particularly because they know that a lot of their tracks aren't actually tracks that are going to get daytime play or get onto MTV. They're not that kind of music on a lot of occasions. So they don't want to invest lots of money in a music video because it's not going to get seen that far, and if it does, the opportunity they have there is to be a lot more creative with it. A lot of the time the artists don't want to be in the video, and they can be very filmic, they can push the boat out, and they can generally do subjects that are banned on mainstream television. So you've got a really great opportunity to push the boat out, do something interesting and different, and not have to work under the usual commercial restrictions. Another really great idea that was very simple but beautifully done is Wolfgang Bau's video for Cold Cut, A Whistle and a Prayer. He used fuzzy felt and took fuzzy felt to a whole new dimension. I mean, it's incredible the different journeys that you go on within that video. And he had a hard task, because the other thing is with music videos is you've got to remember that anything, we generally don't commission things. You try and commission a video that's about 3 minutes, 3.5 minutes, because it keeps it tight. And I think that Whistle and a Prayer video definitely hits about 5 minutes or 4 minutes. And he takes you through all these different worlds, and then he goes into this really abstract landscape and starts using this fuzzy felt in a mad sort of stop frame way, and it's beautiful, and finishes it all up with some live action at the end that you don't expect. And that one is another idea of something that he's done himself and worked it really, really well, just through keeping the idea going and expanding on it all the way. That's the thing. I think a lot of video directors make the mistake where they think, oh, I've got a great idea, we're going to shoot it and it's going to look amazing and it's going to look like this. And you've got to remember that after the first 10 seconds, you go, oh, I get it, oh, that looks wicked, that's a really great style or concept. Now what are you going to do with it? What's going to happen next? You've got to keep expanding and keep people's interest in it. I would recommend looking to smaller independent labels if you want to really build up your show reel and you want to get out some really mad ideas that are doable on the money. Obviously, you've just got to be so careful about that. It's the best way forward, yes. And then you can always progress and expand. And a lot of successful directors will do the odd video for independent just to, you know, get creative again.
Taskmaster burst the bionic zit splitter. Breakneck speeds we drown 10 pints of bitter. We lean all day and some say they ain't productive. Could that depend upon the demon that you're stuck with? Cause right now I see clearer than most. I sit here contented with this cheese on toast. I feel the pain of a third world famine. Said wait, we count them blessings and keep jamming.
We were very lucky to have Matt Kirkby do the Witness video, although he was actually on the rise at that point. But although, you know, it was a larger budget than other videos, and it did involve a few locations, but you can see that he worked it out, that it was handheld camera, he edited it beautifully, he worked it all out in advance, and it was a killer idea. It really was brilliant.
Witness the fitness, the competent living. One hope, one quest. Witness the fitness, the competent living. One hope, one quest. Witness the fitness, the competent living. One hope, one quest. Witness the fitness, the competent living. One hope, one quest.
He has worked that particular video out to hit a certain budget. It doesn't have to look high budget to be very successful and brilliant and entertaining. Another bit of advice I'd like to say to new directors is to remember that I'm not your yes man. There's a lot of that around with your friends and people that you know, no offence to people, but a lot of people don't like to upset anyone, whereas the Commissioner, they've got to get that video in and it's got to look right. So they're the ones to show various, what do you think of this, and bounce ideas off, and they'll give you an honest opinion back, because they've got nothing to gain by being nicey-nicey with the director. They want to make it work for you. So use them as your soundboard. They're very valuable people for that fact, and the more you work with them like that, the more they'll feel like they've got a great dialogue going with you, and they'll want to use you again, hopefully, if it all goes well.